couple of things that I'd like for you to do on a daily basis that will help keep your horse soft and supple while you're riding. The first I call giving to the bit, which is just putting pressure on the bit, like I'm doing with the left rein now. Pressure, give, pressure, give. Whenever she gives, I give. And then back the other way, pressure, give, pressure, give. She kind of knows this routine, but making sure I'm not blocking her motion with the opposite rein. So pressure, and she gives and I give. Pressure, she gives, I give. Pressure. And that's what makes them stay very soft. Now, once they go left and right, then you can ask them to lower their head by putting pressure on both reins. So when she gives, I'm going to give. So pressure, 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 give. Good girl. She knows this drill too. So pressure, pressure, give, pressure, give. This helps you when you're starting to do long and low work or on the bit work, to ask her to relax her top line. Standing and giving to the bit, then I'll do the same thing at the walk, which I call drunk circles because I just kind of wander all over the place. But it's pressure. When she gives, I give. And then back the other way, pressure on the right rein now. When she gives, I give. And then, once she's doing that fine, then I'll pick up both reins and actually put her on the bit. I'm putting light contact on her mouth, and I'm gently riding her forward into the bit with my legs, asking her to use her rear end, and that's how you get the nice soft either hunter on the flat frame or dressage frame. It's from the rear end, not from holding her head in. And we do the same thing at the trot. It's a little pressure. She rounds out and I'm soft. A little pressure now. A little pressure, soften. One of the things I like my horses to know, and my students, is what I call the 4 steps of a downward transition. And that's how you get the lovely downward transitions and halts without having to make a big deal out of it. The 4 steps are: 1, get sticky; 2, lift up and back; 3, in a quiet, soothing voice, say ho; and 4, which is last, I'd like to point out, is the use of the reins. The first one is what I call getting sticky. So right now, if you see my whole body, I'm wiggly woggling along in motion with her. And when I want her to slow down, I simply quit following quite as much. You see her right now asking me if I want her to slow down. So here I am again, so hopefully you can see it on television. Wiggly woggling along. My whole body's really moving. And then I just get what I call a little sticky. I don't follow as much. And that's the first clue to her that we're about to do a downward transition. The second step is lifting up and back. In theory, you're already sitting here nice and tall, in line with your ankles, hips, shoulders, with your shoulders softly back. The second step of the downward transition is to take this and from your waist up, lift up and back slightly. So here I am normal, here I am up and back. The important part here is to not let your seat go forward at the same time, because a seat going forward like that tells a horse to go or not stop. So you have to be really careful that the up and back is from the waist up so that you don't end up giving the horse conflicting aids. Okay, the third step is the use of the voice. I'm a big one on verbal aids, and yes, I do a good bit of dressage showing, and I don't talk when I'm in the ring. But all of my horses are trained in the words walk, trot, canter, ho, which means stop, and steady, whoa, which means to slow down. So when I want her to do a downward transition, my third step is I will say in a soothing voice, ho, ho. Step in a downward transition is what most people think is number one, but it's really not. It's the use of your hands with the reins. Most of the time, if you've taught your horses these 4 steps, by the time you get to step 3, they've stopped. But if not, I want you to squeeze, give with those reins. As you probably already know, you hold the reins here between your thumb and your index finger, and your ring finger and your middle finger gently fold around the reins, and are used in a squeeze, give manner. Don't lock. If you lock, you're just going to make them mad, and they're going to fight and fret like she's doing right now. So it's a squeeze, give, squeeze, give. I'm going to execute a couple of downward transitions from walk to halt. It's the same as from canter to trot and trot to walk, but we're doing it at the walk now. So I'm going to get sticky. I'm going to lift up and back. I'm going to say whoa, and I didn't need my reins. But if I had, I would have given her squeeze, give, squeeze, give. Let me do it one more time. So here I am walking along. I'm going to get sticky. I'm going to lift up and back. I'm going to say whoa, and then a little squeeze, give. Now if you'll be a disciplinarian and do that every time, you'll be amazed at how nice your horse does downward transitions. And the rule is it may take you 20 steps at first, but the next day it's 10, the next day it's 5, and pretty soon you'll do it in 2 or 3. Turn on the haunches. This is lateral movements that I strongly believe should be done every day that you ride a horse, especially if you're working them in the ring on their flat work. The aid for turn on the haunches, I'm going to go to the left here. I'm going to open my left rein and invite her that way. I'm going to back it up with pressure on her neck here with this rein, and pressure with my right leg at the girth, pushing her to the left. So left rein open, pressure on the neck, pressure at the girth. Again, this is going to be turn on the haunches. I'm emphasizing that lateral movements should be worked as a small part of your everyday riding. The aid for this is I'm going to open my right rein. I'm going to apply pressure with my rein here at the left, and with my left leg at the girth, and ask her to step around her rear end. Which I bring I'm going to ask her haunches to go to the right, so I'm going to bring my left leg behind the girth and ask her to step that way. What my reins do is dictated by her reaction to my leg aid. Right now I'm blocking her a little bit on the front, but it's mostly just in my leg. And here we go the other way. So my right leg is a little behind the girth now. Exercises should be done every day, and this is your basis for lovely shoulder in, haunches in, and leg yielding, plus canter departures, etc., etc.